Hello, guys. It is Heath with the Vacation Voyagers, and I am at home still in my newly decorated little backdrop of redness and laptop and pictures. You like my picture I got right here? I got this out of my bathroom, actually. Hope you like it. If you can't tell what's directly behind me, that is a map that you scratch off to every part of the world that you've been. And as you can see, I have not been to too many places because all the color ones is where I've been and all the gold is where I have not. Haven't done a whole lot as far as chunking out places that I've been, but there are some places that I need to update, like Texas. I finally went to Texas last year on the Carnival Breeze, so that counts, right? Decided to put out another ship review video under the IMO, in my opinion, vlog that I've been putting out, and this time I'm going to do a ship review on one of my favorite ships, which is the Freedom of the Seas. So let's get started right away. Alright, so we're going to talk about the Freedom of the Seas. We went back on it in October of last year. It was the second cruise that I've been on since the pandemic. I've been on the Freedom of the Seas a while back, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. And the first time that I went, I really enjoyed it. So the second time, it was only a 3-day cruise, but I love that ship. So we definitely went back on it. First time that we went, we actually had a balcony. And this past time that we went on it, we only did a 3-day because that's all they were offering. They were offering 3 and 4 day cruises. So we decided to take a 3-day cruise on the Freedom of the Seas, and it still didn't disappoint. I love the ship. So we're going to talk about the ship, starting with the layout. I love the layout of the ship because even though it says it's 15 decks, technically it's really only 13 decks, because deck 14, all that has is the Viking Lounge, it has the Diamond Club, and it has the Suites Club, where you can go and get hors d'oeuvres and drinks before you go to dinner or whatever. But really there's only about 13 decks, and 3, 4, and 5 is the only decks you need to worry about inside the ship, because deck 3 is where you have your main theater. You also have Studio B. They have an ice show on the Freedom class ships, which is normally an Oasis class thing, but the Freedom class has them as well. They also have a photo gallery there. They have the art gallery on deck 3. Deck 4 is where you can find your Casino Royale, which is obviously my favorite place, and we will talk about that here in a minute. And it also has the new revamped Playmakers sports bar and arcade is what they call it. It has got some arcade games, not a whole lot. It does have a couple pool tables, plenty of TVs to watch sports, has nice little sitting areas where you can watch games and stuff like that, or just go to the bar and chill. Also has a place you can eat there and order food there as well. It is a pay, and it has skee ball and some little basketball games there as well. So it's a really cool little sports bar area. That runs right into the casino, and then after the casino it goes into Schooner Bar, and there's an Izumi restaurant on the left hand side right beside the Schooner Bar. So a lot of stuff on deck 4 to do. Also is the upper deck of the theater, and also it's one floor of the main dining, so a lot going on deck 4. Deck 5 has your Royal Promenade, which is a nice, good sized promenade for that ship. It has the Sorrento's pizza place. It still has the Cafe Promenade. It has Ben and Jerry's, which is a great addition. And they have their normal shops that they do on their other ships, like their makeup shops and duty free and liquor, cigarette shops, all those regular shops you would see on a Royal ship. They have in the Royal Promenade as well. Now, deck 6 through 10, nothing but rooms, so you don't even need to worry about those decks as far as finding stuff to do. Once you get to deck 11, Deck 11 has your Lido deck, has the pools, the hot tubs, has the Vitality Spa, it has the Vitality Fitness Center, it has the Windjammer. Deck 12 has your sports decks, the water slides, flow rider, mini golf course on 13, I believe, and then 14 is Viking Lounge, the Diamond Club Lounge, the Suites Lounge. So overall layout of the ship: 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14. you know the ship. Everything else is rooms, just a very easy to get around ship. Love the ship, and it's big enough to where it doesn't feel overcrowded. The Royal Theater's huge. The Windjammer's got plenty of room. You know, just a good sized ship. Not too big and not too small where it gets crowded. Not too big where it feels like you're walking forever to get from one spot of the ship to the other. So love the layout. Probably my favorite layout of any ship I've been on because it's just so easy to get around. Okay, so just super fast, talk about the muster station. As soon as you get on the ship, you go to your muster station. They show you how to put a life jacket on. Royal Caribbean makes you watch videos. You get on your app, you watch 2 videos, and you're done. Still the easiest thing in the world to do. They do want you to do it as soon as you get on the ship. Why you wouldn't do it as soon as you get on the ship, I don't know, but there have been a lot of people who don't do it, and the captain gets on the intercom right before we're fixing to sail off, and he will say, oh, there's about 38 people that still hasn't done their muster station. And if you've been on enough cruise ships, you know they're not going to leave until everybody's done it. So usually, you know, everybody gets on there, they do the muster station, takes 30 seconds now. It's just the easiest thing in the world. So that's always a plus, especially after the restart since the pandemic. Just super simple. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the room. Since I've been on the ship twice, we have been in a balcony room. And like I said, that was before they revamped the ship. So I can't tell you how it was before then and now. When we went on it 6 or 7 years ago, before they revamped the ship, we were on a balcony, and I do remember that it was super clean, super nice, pretty much like any Royal Caribbean ship that you've been on, about the same size. The bathrooms, the closet space, everything like that was good. The second time that we went on the Freedom, which was back in October, we actually did an interior room, but Royal has a program called Royal Up where they will send you an offer to upgrade your room by bidding X amount of dollars to get an upgraded room. And what we decided to do, we started out with an interior, and we decided, you know what, let's see what we can get. We put in an offer for the promenade view rooms, which has a window that overlooks the promenade. And then we put, I think, a bid in for the balcony rooms. And we ended up winning the Royal Promenade view room. When we got that was actually pretty cool room because, you know, it's pretty much an interior room, but you have a nice big window and watch everybody on the promenade. The only problem with those rooms are it's a hit and miss because there are lighting and structural stuff that's in the way of the window. Let's say that. There's sometimes you can get stuck with some big thing right in front of your window and you don't get a good view. Luckily, where we were at, we didn't have any obstacles in our way. We could see straight down at the promenade area. We could actually see all the way down 2 floors because there was an opening where you could see the Playmakers Bar and Grill from our room. You can see the Royal Promenade, then you see the opening where it goes down another deck and you can see the Playmakers Bar and Grill. So that was kind of cool. Plus you get to sit there and people watch. The room had like I think they call them day beds, or like a couch right beside the window that you can sit on and look out the window, read a book, do whatever you want to do on that couch. But I actually really did like that room. Normally I cannot stand getting on a ship without being on a balcony because I love going out there and looking at the ocean, but it beats being in an interior room where all you see is 4 walls. So at least we had a window and we can see something. So it actually, for the price, I think we ended up bidding $75 per person in the room. So it was actually $150 to upgrade from the interior to the promenade view room. And yeah, I really liked the room. It was nice. They did not revamp the rooms. They are still the older type of rooms. So they did not have USB ports in those rooms. They did have a USB port jack on the telephone, but as far as the outlets in the room, they did not have USB ports. And I'm big on that because obviously I have some equipment to charge when I'm on a ship. But overall, I loved the room. I mean, it was a cool room to be in. We were just there for 3 days. All right, and since we're through the halfway point of this IMO review of the Freedom of the Seas, I want you to hit that subscribe button right there on your little TV, YouTube, laptop, phone, whatever you got going on.
hit the notification button. That way you will know every time I put out a new video, every time I go on a new cruise, we go camping, we go to a casino, whatever I'm doing. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. It doesn't cost anything. It helps this channel out so much, and I do so much appreciate those who have subscribed and hope that you will subscribe if you haven't. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay. Can't fault you for it. I know you get tired of watching YouTube videos with people begging you to subscribe to their channels, but it's just part of the game. Let's be honest. People need subscribers to move their channel forward, and that's no different than me. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can start making money doing this, and I can't make money. I can't quit the job that I'm at now. I don't like where I work now, and I can't stop until I get 1,000 subscribers. I need subscribers so I can quit my job and just become a YouTuber for the rest of my life. That'll never happen, but I do appreciate you guys who do subscribe, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching my videos. Even if you don't subscribe, it's okay. I still love you. Okay, so now let's talk about their restaurants and their food on the ship. Well, we'll start out with the paid restaurants right now. So technically they have 3 sit-down restaurants on the Freedom of the Seas, one being Izumi's, which is located on deck 4, right beside the schooner bar. And then on deck 11, right by the Windjammer, they have Chop's Grill and they have Giovanni's. Now, since they revamped the ship, another thing that they did was they revamped Giovanni's restaurant. Before we went on this cruise in October, I did not like Giovanni's at all. Did not like their food, did not like their menu. It wasn't my type of Italian. Obviously Giovanni's is an Italian restaurant. Chops has always been the same. Izumi's has always been the same. Izumi's is the Japanese hibachi grill. Also has a sushi bar, and I think there is an upcharge as well. So even if you got a deal where you can get all 3 restaurants for one price, you still have an upcharge, I think, of $10 on the Freedom to go to Izumi's. But getting back to Giovanni's, they used to have a really, to me, it wasn't a good restaurant. I didn't like eating at Giovanni's. They revamped the Giovanni's on the Freedom of the Seas, meaning they didn't do all the Royal Caribbean ships as far as upgrading the menu at Giovanni's, but they did on the Freedom. So when we went on the Freedom back in October, Giovanni's now has pizza. They now have chicken parmesan. They have new appetizers. They have a stromboli appetizer that is just unbelievable. Probably one of my favorite appetizers of all time. I had a pizza there. It was absolutely delicious. It was not Sorrento's pizza. It was Giovanni's pizza, but it was excellent. Their food there is so much better than it used to be. It went from being my least favorite restaurant on Royal ships to my favorite. And I know Wonder of the Seas has the new Giovanni's and Freedom of the Seas has the new Giovanni's. Not all of them are revamped. Not all of them have the new menu, but Freedom of the Seas does. And if you go on the Freedom of the Seas and you were like me and you didn't like the way Giovanni's was before, you need to try it now, because I'm telling you, it is 1,000 times better than it was. Those are your 3 main restaurants. Now they do have a couple of other restaurants that you can go to that are pay. One of them, they have a Johnny Rockets, which is a pay restaurant, obviously burgers and fries, except during breakfast. They do offer free breakfast from time to time. I don't know if it's every single day on the Freedom of the Seas, but I do know when they offer breakfast during the daytime, it is free. Playmakers also has a menu where you can order some sports type of food, wings and stuff like that. We did not eat at the Playmakers bar when we were on the Freedom, so I can't say if it was good or if it wasn't good because we didn't eat there. Other than that, there's not any other pay restaurants. Okay, so the rest of their dining is obviously the Windjammer, which is their buffet, and then their main dining room. So we ate at the main dining room pretty much every night, except for the time that we did go to Giovanni's. Royal Caribbean food has always been the best food that I've eaten on ships as far as a cruise line. Freedom of the Seas is no different. They had excellent food. They had good choices. I love their food. I love their buffet. When we went back in October, they had a really good buffet, and it was a lot better than it has been the past month.
or two, because we went on the Independence of the Seas and the Wonder of the Seas, the brand new ship, and the buffet has started to slack. And I don't know if that's a Royal Caribbean thing. Back in October when we were on the Freedom, their buffet had a ton of different varieties of food that you can eat. I think Royal Caribbean has cut down a lot on food options in the Windjammer. I know that it has gone down since we've been on a Royal Caribbean ship. Main dining room, again, it was good. Cooked the way you like it. The waiters and waitresses in the dining room, they will do whatever you want. Ask them to help you with something, they'll make it happen. If you don't like certain things in your food, if they can do it, they'll do it. You know, I've always loved Royal Caribbean food, and Freedom of the Seas is no different. But again, the Giovanni's was just next level stuff in my book. I mean, geez Louise, it was so good. Real quick on the entertainment part of it, we only went to a couple of shows. Since we were only on the cruise at that time for 3 days, we went to the ice show the first night, which was really cool, and it was cool to see that again. Only problem, again, back then you had to wear a mask and it could only be half capacity, but it was still cool to go there and see a show, especially since it had been 2 years since we had been on a Royal Caribbean ship. And then their Broadway show, it was something simple. It wasn't like a play or a Grease type of show or anything, but it was like more like a Royal Theater cast members singing a bunch of different songs, and that was cool. But both shows we saw we really liked, so yeah, the entertainment's always great on Royal Caribbean. And you know, that little 3-day cruise that we did to see 2 shows in 3 days, that was pretty cool to do. They also had a comedy show in the Starlight Lounge, and that's where they do their comedy, and we didn't go see that, but I heard that it was a really cool show as well. So the Freedom class is still doing 3 and 4 day cruises, and you're definitely going to see an ice show, you're going to see some type of Broadway show, and there's always going to be a comedian as well. So for the 3 or 4 days that you're on that cruise, you're going to have some pretty good entertainment while you're on the cruise. Okay, so let's talk about their bars real fast. One thing you don't have to worry about any ship really is the lack of bars on a ship. They have more bars than they have anything. As far as the Freedom's concerned, they had obviously plenty to choose from. Just on deck 4 alone, you had the Schooner Bar, Casino Royale Bar, you had Bolero's Bar just on deck 4. Deck 5 and the Promenade, you had the Bull and Boar Pub, which is their beer pub. You had Vintages, which is their little wine area. Obviously on deck 11, the Lime and Coconut Lounge on the Lido deck, the Viking Lounge up on deck 14. You had Diamond Club, you had the Sweets Club, which served drinks. Anywhere and everywhere you go on that ship, every deck that had stuff on it, they had a bar. Playmakers as well. I think I forgot Playmakers. That was another big bar area they had. So plenty of bars, like any ship really. They all have tons of bars, and this one is no different. Okay, so let's get into the activities real quick. Obviously, they have the pool area on the Lido. They have the hot tubs, fitness center, Vitality Spa area. They do have kids areas for kids to play. They have different age groups for kids to go to. They have the little putt-putt course. They have the basketball court, which you can also play pickleball, volleyball. They have different times and sections for certain games. Ping pong tables, pool tables, areas for teenagers, areas for infants, areas for all ages. Plenty of stuff for kids to do, plenty of stuff for teenagers to do, and obviously plenty of stuff for us old folks to do. We need something to do too, and they've got plenty. You know, Royal Caribbean does a really good job of attending to the younger group as well. They have the Splashaway Bay on the other side of the pool area as well for kids to play at, so that's a cool addition that they can do. Little playground areas for kids. Like I said, putt-putt, just plenty of stuff for all ages to do. All right, now to my favorite part of the ship, I guess. It's always my favorite part of the ship, and that's the casino. That's where I spend 99% of my time when I'm on a ship. I love the casinos. They've had new additions, new games added to the casino. It's not a huge casino, but it's a good sized casino. It's big enough. Plenty of slot machines, plenty of table games, plenty of room for those who are on the ship to be able to gamble. Now when we went, We went in October, and the capacity that they would allow on the ship, I think at that time, was around 50 to 60%, and there was a lot more room, a lot more space to do things, especially in the casino. It never got overcrowded. For the smokers, at that time they did not allow smoking. Now I'm sure that's changed since then. Yeah, the casino was, like any other casino, but they did have, since it is a revamped ship, one of the things that they did is they added some newer games as well to the ship. So that's always a plus. The only downfall, not that they were super strict at that time, but they were constantly washing your hands, telling you to wash your hands and stuff when you go into the casino doors. Hand sanitizer at each end of the door, and they had somebody standing there at that time making you put hand sanitizer on, and you had to wear a mask at all times. So at that time, that was the only downfall, but again, during those times, every ship was doing it. You didn't have a choice. But yeah, love the casino. Always loved the casino. And if you're asking me about how did the casino pay off, that's been my big downfall of all Royal Caribbean ships. I've never done any good on any Royal Caribbean ships. Just never have, no matter what ship it's been. Freedom of the Seas was no different. Never hit it for anything. Never seen anybody else hit it for anything. From my experience being on Royal Caribbean ships, played the table games because those slot machines are super tight. Did not see a lot of jackpot plays, not a lot of payouts as far as that's concerned. I've never had any good luck in Royal casinos. Just haven't. I hope that changes, but so far it hasn't. All right, so last thing I'll talk about is the crew themselves, the staff, with the exception of the fact that they had no choice but to tell you to make sure you washed your hands. They had to serve the food for you at that time. They had to pour your drinks for you at that time. They were nice. We never had any issues with any kind of service, especially servers in the dining room. They were excellent. Did have issues with people who were serving regular drinks, not alcohol drinks, but just tea and coffee. That was the only issue I had. And it was a communication issue more than anything. And there were times where they were either getting frustrated with me or I was getting frustrated with them because, when you ask them to do something and they don't understand, it becomes a language barrier and it becomes frustrating, I guess, for both sides of the party. That was really the only issue we had. Room steward was awesome. I do remember him, and he was an excellent room steward. Super nice, made sure that our room was clean. During that time, it was different, but, the crew members were great on the ship. I'm sure they still are. I've never had an issue with Freedom. All right, so now let's just rate it real quick. Try to go through this as fast as possible. As far as the overall layout of the ship, got to give it a 10. It's just a great ship to get around. Super easy to get to everything you need to get to. Elevators were big. No overcrowding in the elevators. Just a great ship. Love the layout. So 10 out of 10 on the ship. So food, we'll just knock them both out. Specialty dining was a 10 out of 10. That revamped Giovanni's was just amazing. Chops Grill is always great. We didn't eat at Azumi's, but the main dining room was excellent. All of the times that we ate there, their food was excellent. Johnny Rockets was excellent. Breakfast in the dining room was excellent. The Windjammer was great. Only downfall was they served your food for you in the Windjammer. They served your drinks. I cannot take away points for that because it wasn't a choice for them or for us. So love that Giovanni's. I cannot talk enough about it. All right, so entertainment, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because they have a nice show on the Freedom class ships, which is awesome. You can also do free ice skating at certain times, which is a cool bonus to be able to go ice skating on a ship. The shows that we did see were really good. Good singers, good dancers, good entertainment for a 3-day cruise. Didn't see the comedy show, but I did hear that that was really good as well, so we'll give that a 9 out of 10 for their entertainment, especially for just a 3 to 4 day cruise. Casino. Let's talk about the casino and rate it. I'm going to rate the casino a 7 out of 10 just because not only did I not win, I didn't see anybody there winning anything at any time. That is so disappointing because I've been on plenty of ships to see that Royal is really tight. with their slot machines. Carnivals always seem to be the better ships as far as payouts are concerned. I've never seen a whole lot of people win on Royal Caribbean ships. That doesn't mean that people don't, but it's just not as common as you would see on Carnival ships. Royal Caribbean's really got to do something about that. They got to make it a little bit more accessible for people to go in there and have a better shot of winning. So 7 out of 10 for the casino. So for bars and stuff, we'll give it a 9 out of 10. They had plenty of bars, plenty of places to get a drink. You couldn't go on a floor that had anything on there without hitting a bar. Bartenders, the drinks were good. What little I did drink, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. We'll say 9 out of 10. Always room for improvement. All right, so for the room, like I said, we were in the promenade room, which overlooks the promenade, and I really like that room. Since they revamped the ship, I wish they would have revamped their rooms a little bit better. They still are kind of older looking rooms. They need to upgrade their outlets. They need to put some USB ports in. They probably need to upgrade their decor in the rooms as well. And as far as I can remember, the beds weren't the most comfortable, but they were okay. So we'll give the rooms, especially the promenade rooms, we'll say 7 out of 10. Okay, and lastly, we'll talk about the crew. I've never had too many issues with anybody on Royal Caribbean ships. Room stewards, always awesome on Royal Caribbean ships. The waiters in the main dining room were awesome. The only issue that I had was the language barrier again when it came to telling them what kind of drink I wanted as far as coffee or tea, that kind of stuff. So 9 out of 10 for the crew members on the ship, because under the circumstances they were still patient, they were polite, they tried to accommodate you as much as they possibly could within the rules. Royal Caribbean always has great crew, and Freedom of the Seas is no different. And I'm sure it's only gotten better since we've been on that cruise, because all these restrictions have finally started, going away. And I'm sure it's much more easy for not just the crew members, but the passengers to interact. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for the crew. So overall rate of the ship has got to be a 9 out of 10. It's a very close 10 out of 10, but there's always room for improvement. And the only thing I gotta say that Freedom of the Seas needs to do with their ship is to upgrade the rooms. They've upgraded their Lido decks. They have new decor out on the Lido decks. They got these cool, nice colored palm trees now. They got these new little cabana things that you can sit under now. Didn't do anything to the rooms, but they did do something to the Lido decks, the playmakers, casinos, the studio. They revamped the ship. It's a nice ship. They just got to work on those rooms. If they do that, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 in a heartbeat. One of my favorite ships I've ever cruised on. I'd love for them to go back to 7-day cruises, but even though they don't, that's really a good ship to do a 3 or 4 night cruise on. If you got a weekend to get on a cruise ship, get on the Freedom. I love that ship. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Another review. IMO, in my opinion, my review of the Freedom of the Seas. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys like. I hope you guys subscribe. I appreciate everyone who has stuck through this video and watched the whole thing. I hope you check out my other videos as well, because I put out a lot of videos. More than I probably should, but I put out a lot of videos. So I hope that you check out my other videos as well. I can't wait to see you guys again when I'm on another ship. I cannot wait to get on another cruise. I'm trying to get on a cruise this July. If I do, you guys will be the first to know. So until next time, peace and love, and I will see you on my next voyage, hopefully soon.